six pack. Oh, what's going on, everybody? Back with you here. Got on some more cool stuff today. I'm gonna do a little update on the Firebird and then get into what I'm working on today. So some stuff that's been done to the Firebird is we got the Z28 spoiler put on it. So we got that done. We also did some more alignment on the front end. We got the bumper moved over and got the hood alignment and everything looking a lot better on it. So we got that all done, plus our spoiler. Also put a clutch fan on it. Took the solid fan off. So now we got a clutch fan on it. I also changed out the carburetor adapter because I was having problems with the secondaries not coming in quite right. And we kept changing the spring and we ended up going the whole way up to a black spring in the secondaries, which is just way too heavy. And it still just wasn't reacting real well. So we ended up, I had a Mr. Gasket open adapter on it. So I went ahead and I put an Edelbrock 4-hole adapter on it. I was watching a video on Terry at Erfurt's garage. He was talking about how he was having problems with the open adapter for Quadrajet manifold. Said that he was having some problems with it, and it got me thinking. So went ahead and tried that, and we put that on there, and went back to the purple spring in the secondaries, and now it seems to be working pretty good. So I got a little bit more testing to do on it, as I didn't get a whole lot done. So we'll see how that goes, but it seems to be working a whole lot better than the open spacer. I guess the signal to the secondaries was getting screwed up, and it wasn't allowing it to open up quite right. So we'll see what happens. So hopefully this is going to be better than what we had before. So that's about all the updates on the Firebird for now. This is probably pretty much all we're going to be doing to it for a little while. I need to start working on the Chevelle because I need to get that ready, because we're going to be going to, as of right now, we're going to be going to Cruising the Coast in Gulfport, Mississippi in October for a couple days. So we're going to be driving the Chevelle down there. Tom's going to be taking his Coronet, and Keith, who you saw here with the Camaro, I'm not sure what he's taking. He's got a 67 Chevelle and he's trying to get that ready to go. But I need to get the Chevelle ready. I need to go over things and get some work done to it. So Firebird's pretty much ready to roll, so we're just going to drive that around while we work on the Chevelle. So that's going to be the plan coming up here. So that's about what we got going on. And plus, we got a 6-pack intake in here today. This is off my buddy Mike's 70 Cuda. This is a 440 6-pack intake. This was what was on his card. It's not a 440 6-pack car, but it's a 440 car. But he's in the process of rebuilding the engine. I'll probably have some video on that, on putting it back in and getting it going, but I need to go through these carburetors for him. And so we're going to ditch, he's ditching the cast iron. This is a 70 cast iron intake manifold. If you look, there's a date code right here on it. It's what, 1210-69. So this is a 70 intake. So what he's going to do, he's updating to the aluminum Edelbrock version, which was the which is the 69 intake, which is also a lot lighter and easier to deal with, because that cast iron thing weighs a ton. It is horribly heavy. So he bought some Promax stuff that we're going to be putting in there. So right now I'm going to tear the carburetors down and get stuff taken apart here, and I will bring you guys back. So let me get to work and I will bring you back in a little bit. Well, so here we are. We're back. We got everything all torn apart. As you can see, we got an outboard. This is our center primary carb, and we have another outboard. So everything's in pretty good shape. We are making some changes to this though. On this carburetor here, this is the original plate, and as you can see, right inside here there is idle screws. You can kind of see them. I don't know if you guys can see them or not, but they're right inside here. And the way these 6-packs work on these Chryslers is that these things all pull. They all pull and they're all adjustable. So what we did here is Mike went to Promax. Promax makes this throttle plate, and as you can see, the screws are right here on the outside. So when this is mounted on the car, we can get back to this carburetor and we can adjust these air bleeders right here, so we can play with the idle and the mixture and stuff on this carburetor, because all of these pull at idle. Now from the factory they're preset, like I think I read somewhere that you turn them like a turn and a quarter or something like that, or a turn and a half. And that's how they set them from the factory on these tube barrels. A lot of guys will knock these out and play with them and change the adjustments and stuff on them. But at least with these we can move them around. Now this one here I'm going to have to try, I got to drill and pop these plugs out of here so we can get to the screws, so we can make some adjustments on this one. So the other thing we're going to do is the outboards use a metering plate, like on the 1850s and 3310s. They use this jet plate instead of actual jets. So what Mike did, Promax offers this as a replacement, and what this is that this is a plate, but what it does is you can put jets in it. Right down here you can go ahead and you can screw jets into this plate. That way you have changeable jets on the carburetor. So that's the next thing we're going to be putting into this. And the other thing he got from Promax was this billet metering plate, or metering block, for the primary carb. So we're going to replace this metering block with this one here from Promax. So we're going to go ahead and put this in. And I guess this has some adjustments to it too, but I don't know. I have no idea. I don't know why you got it. So, but at any rate, that's what we're doing. So right now I'm just getting everything all cleaned up, getting the carbs cleaned up. I got carb kits. We're going to go through, clean them all up, start putting them back together. And then we're going to go ahead and get them all assembled, and then we're going to put them on the old Edelbrock intake down here. And give them back to Mike so we can get them on the engine, so we can get the engine in the car. So, but that's what we got going on right now. So let me get back to it and we'll check back in with you. Oh, here we are. I got the rear outboard all done. Got our new Promax throttle on it with the adjustable bleeder screws, and I also put our Promax metering block in it, which I just showed you guys, which is, where the heck is it? It's right here. Put this in with, and then put a set of 84 jets in it. So that's what we're going to start with. We're going to start with 84s on both the outboards, and then we're going to go with a 66 on the center part. So we're going to see how that all works out. So this is going to be a totally different setup because the car's not going to be stock. It has trick flow aluminum heads, it has comp roller cam, hydraulic roller cam, it's got it's a lot of changes. It's different compression, forged pistons, all kinds of stuff. It's been balanced. So this is what we're going to start with right now on this 6-pack, and hopefully we're kind of close on all this, but we'll see how this all works out. So we got one done. We're starting on the center carb. I'm going to start cleaning that up. We'll put our Promax metering block in it with some 66 jets that I have over here in the box. And go ahead and start cleaning that one up. And this one I gotta wait because Mike's still waiting on to get a set of 84 jets in. Guess they're on back order from Summit or something, so I don't know, he can't find them. So we're still waiting on jets for this one right here. So, but we get back to work cleaning this up, and I'll bring you back. Well, hey, what's happening, everybody? Back with you here. It's the next day. I didn't get the center carb done, but I got it all cleaned up. It's ready to put back together. Everything's cleaned up. So today I'm going to work on getting that back together. And the other thing I'm going to do is I need to figure out how to get these plugs out of this front outboard carburetor, because we need to get them out so that we can make it adjustable like the rear one is. So I have the other one, the rear one, here somewhere. I think I threw it in one of the boxes here. But I have the old one of this, so I think I'm going to experiment with that one before I mess with that one, just to see how it all works out. So let me get to work here, and I will bring you back when I got something done. Alright. Oh, hey, I'm back. Well, I got the center carb all done. I had to dig into my stash and get a fuel bowl because his fuel bowl ended up stripping out in 2 holes. And to me, it's just not worth the aggravation of trying to helicoil this. So I'll give it back to him and see what he wants to do. We did get rid of this vent on the bowl here because this one doesn't have one. So we're just going to go ahead and use that, because that vent isn't even working anyways. I think there's a link missing from here to this thing because it's supposed to close or open, or I don't know. So at any rate, we got this one all done. So we got 2, and now we got 1 more to do. I need to start cleaning this one up. I did get the plugs out, but I don't know how to get the screws out because there is no slots on them. And I even drilled out the one that we replaced, and it's the same. There is no slots on these, so I do not know how you get these plugs out. So I guess that's something we just need to figure out, or I just might call Mike and just tell him to get another Promax main base plate, because that'd probably just be the easiest way to do that instead of having to screw around with trying to get this all apart. So I'm going to go ahead and start cleaning this one up, and that's probably going to be it for today, because we're going to have to wait for parts for this because we're still waiting on the jets, and we're going to have to wait on figure out what we're going to do with these base plates, if we're going to just replace it or if we're just going to go ahead and just try and use this one that we have. So that's going to be it for right now. When I get some more work, when we get some parts here, I'll go ahead and I'll continue. Till then, I'll get back to you. Hey, what's happening, everybody? Back to working on these carburetors here. It's been a couple days because, as you saw last time I showed you, we were having trouble with the other base plates with the air mixture screws. Still didn't figure out a way to get those out, so Mike went ahead and got another base plate with the idle screws towards the outside here. So this is from Promax. It's the same thing we put on the other one right here. So what I'm doing right now, I got the pretty much everything assembled on the front outboard carburetor. I got the center carb done. So basically all I'm doing right now is just assembling this base plate, and then I'm going to start assembling everything on the manifold. So I'm going to go ahead and start putting this together here. and I'll go ahead and I'll get back to you when I get it done. So let me get back to work. Oh, hey, I'm back. Got this all assembled. Got the new base plate on. So now we can adjust this thing. I don't know what was going on with these factory plates, but for some reason we just couldn't get in there to do them. It almost, if you can look in there, it almost looks like they broke them at the factory or something, because this is how the plugs came out on this one. And I popped the plugs and this is what it looked like inside, almost like they broke off the thing so you couldn't mess with it. So instead of messing around with that, trying to get those screws out of there, I'm sure there's probably some sort of special way of doing this, I'm sure, but I figure instead of messing around with all this, trying to get it all, drill it out and all this other stuff, I figure, well, we'll just go ahead and get another Promax plate like he's got on the rear carb, and that way they both match, and we can, you know, the screws are there, it's got a new base plate. So I'm going to start assembling these on the intake manifold. Another thing I wanted to show you guys that we got is that this is a heat shield for the carburetors, and we get these from Cool Carb, and we get these from Cool Carb, and they're online. If you want to look up Cool Carb, they make plates and stuff like this that go under your carburetor, and what it is it's two pieces of aluminum, and then he has some sort of polymer in between them, and that's supposed to act as a insulator to keep the heat down. I run one on my Chevelle. I have one on my Chevelle. Tom has one on his car. They actually work really well. They actually keep the carburetor much cooler, keeps the heat down and stuff like that. So Mike went ahead and had bought these for the 6-pack setup. So I'm going to put those on. We got new studs, gaskets, and then I need to put the fuel lines back on and put the linkage and stuff, hook all that back up. So let me drag the intake manifold up here and get it up here on the counter, and I'll go ahead and I'll start assembling stuff here, and I'll bring you back. Well, and here we are. This is our completed 6-pack setup. Carbs are all refreshed. Got our PowerMax base plates in. Got rid of the cast iron intake because it's just so damn heavy, and plus this will keep the fuel a little bit cooler. We have our Cool Carb plates underneath our carburetors. So that's everything right there. Fuel line's all back on, choke's all hooked back up. Got our linkage all hooked up. So hopefully everything will work good on this thing, and we won't have any problems. So these carbs were actually in pretty good shape inside. I mean, they weren't dirty or anything like that. The outsides are just stained from just age, and I kind of like them looking old like that instead of all super clean and polished. Had to replace the primary bowl because the pump stripped, so that's why we don't have the little vent thing up there anymore. I had a bowl here, and I didn't have one of those vent things, so put our PowerMax base plates or jet plates in. So now we're jetted at, we got 66 on the primary and 84 in the secondaries. I don't know how that's going to work. I guess we'll find out. That's just a rough guesstimate because the engine's built quite a bit more than it was before. So it's got trick full aluminum heads, comp roller cam, 10-to-1 compression. It's 30 over, I think. So you'll be seeing more of that because we'll be going over there. We'll be going over there, and I'll be shooting some more video because we're going to be working on that. So that's it for the old 6-pack refresh. So looks a lot better. Hopefully it'll run a lot better. I found some issues with some of the stuff inside, like loose screws and a lot of stuff that was just kind of screwed up from when they were rebuilt the first time, or whoever messed with them the last time. So that should be about it. That's going to be it for now. So, and I'm out.